How y'all doing?
Good.
What's up?
Good.
How are you? Well,
So it was, I guess, can you walk us through the process of how you transferred here and just getting a fit and all that stuff? And
yeah, so entered the portal and then heard from Coach Woods, and my kicking coach has a great relationship with Coach Woods, and I know Drew Stevens is a guy that he's had at Iowa for the last few years. We've got a pretty good relationship, and then so he kind of got me really interested in Michigan State, and then learned more about Michigan State's great history of special teams, with kickers and punters. Seems like a great marriage of top coordinator and a program with really good pedigree in what I do. And then I read more into it, and got a good relationship with Jonathan Kim as well. He's got the same coach as I do. It's kind of funny, we both took the UNC to Michigan State path a little bit differently. I talked to him about it a lot through the process, and got up here on a visit. Loved it. Met Coach Fitz, the strength staff, they all made me feel right at home immediately. The strength staff were talking to my sister a bunch because she studies exercise and sports science. So they were just making not just myself, but my whole family feel really welcomed and at home. And it was an easy decision, very easy decision.
You said same coach with Jonathan, same in-personal kicking coach?
Same kicking coach, yeah. Back in North Carolina.
What did he tell you about Michigan State, and was he right?
Jonathan?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said the people up here are amazing, and that's been my experience too. Not just around campus, but really anybody in the community has been super friendly, and that's super welcome as somebody who's coming from a completely different part of the country. It's really made me feel at home pretty quickly.
What did you learn about the history of kickers in this program? Was there any surprises that when you kind of looked into the past of how many successful kickers and punters? You all right?
Yeah. I feel like it's hard for a program to have that level of consistency year to year and kicker to kicker, because a lot of kicking development is not really done within college programs, at most programs. Usually you have you're a coach, and then you have college, and then those are kind of two separate things. And you really develop on your own, and then you perform when you're with the team. So that kind of hinders consistency in a lot of programs, with player turnover and stuff like that. But just the consistency of high-level kickers and punters that Michigan State's had is really surprising.
How did you become a kicker?
So I played soccer starting when I was 3 years old, pretty competitively. I was looking at playing in college, and then my trainer, my soccer trainer, he kicked at ECU. His name is Anthony Brenner, and for a while he had been telling me hey, you got the leg, you should try it. But in the fall I had school soccer during the week and then travel ball on the weekends, so I just didn't have time. And then COVID came along in spring of 2020, and kind of everything stopped. And it was got time, might as well give it a try. I went out and did pretty well, and he was you could be pretty good. So I ran with it, committed to it fully, stopped soccer. Things turned out pretty well.
Was that hard to give up soccer?
It was a really tough decision for me, because at that point I'd been playing for 15 years, and it was really the only sport I played at a high level. So it was tough.
Do you have the same passion for football now?
Yeah, for football and for soccer too. But I love football. It's especially with what I do, just the aspect of perfecting kind of my craft and my process. I feel there's always something that can be a little better, and that's kind of it's fun to do, to have that goal that's just out of reach, that absolutely perfect route that you're always chasing. It's fun.
Walk me through how you train and what that looks like, especially in spring ball. Are you just getting kicks up, or how does that work? What are you working on right now?
So I've got kind of different goals for what I want to accomplish each day that we go through in the position rooms. And then go out, do drill work during kind of like our indie periods. We don't kick a ton like in team practice, just a few periods a day. So we've got a lot of time on our own. So we go out and attack those things that we want to accomplish, and then get to the end of practice, end of the day, go through, watch the film, evaluate kind of what we did well, what we need to keep working on, and then reset, move on to the next day, do it again.
Do you expect to do kickoffs too,
Yeah.
as well as field goals?
I do.
Okay. With LeVar Woods, just sort of what attracted you to him? What's it been like working with him? And I don't know, have any of your previous stops, have you ever had just a dedicated special teams coordinator where it's not a guy that's sort of splitting duties, he's also the tight ends coach or whatever, where that's his whole job? Is that different for you, I'm wondering, in your career or not?
Yeah, I've never been somewhere like that before.
All right.
But yeah, he's been great. He really kind of tries to understand your process, and kind of everything, all the little details. And what I really appreciate is that he does everything in his power to help you and help you be the best kicker and version of yourself you can be, and really holds us accountable, but also is very supportive.
How tightly knit is like the kicking the specialist community? Because you say you already, Jonathan Kim already, but there's only so many of you guys out there doing it at the high level. So how tight is the web, I guess?
Back in the Carolinas, it's pretty tight. We've got a lot of guys from that area that are playing at a high level right now. We all kind of train with the same coach, so I know most of those guys. But then there's kind of pockets of that across the country, where there's one coach that trains most of the guys from one region, and then they all know each other.
It feels like North Carolina, Virginia, that portion of the country has a really strong soccer following. Like Jay Batt, the athletic director's from around there, played soccer. Do you know why that is? Is that something just happened, or?
I don't, but yeah, that's been my experience with it my whole life too. It's like the Southeast, especially in the Carolinas, is huge for soccer.
You were IMG for a little bit, right? Did you know Carson Cooper there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I was there just for a semester.
Oh, okay.
You're a golfer too? Seems like a lot of specialists end up golfing.
Yeah, it's a similar process. That perfection of your swing and strike and all that.
When'd you get into golf?
I played a little bit when I was little. My grandfather, he likes to golf a lot, so I would go to summer camps and stuff where he lived. And then I got back into it again kind of late in high school.
Nice.
When you mentioned that, would you say you're a perfectionist in terms of how you approach things, or
Yeah.
walk me through your philosophy?
Yeah, I think you can always be better. In every part of your life, every part of my life, I try to do something better every day than I did the previous day. I feel like if you get a little better at something every day, those days really stack, and at the end of the year, you're a lot better at it. I like to apply that philosophy to everything I do.
Was there anything attractive to this place about it being a new start versus, I don't know what other options you had, but maybe if there's something that was a little more established with a staff or coach that had been there a while? Here it's all brand new. Was that interesting or appealing to you, or were there just other reasons that you liked it here?
That wasn't really something I thought about a ton. I just really like the people, the staff, the place.
There are kickers who are kickers, and there are kickers who are football players.
Mm.
You see yourself as a football player, and what position would you play?
I don't know. I think I could make a good safety. I like to see the whole field. I like to be as involved as I can in everything. I don't want to be, one of those kickers that's not really a part of the team. I want to support my teammates, and I want to, know that they'll support me. So I think it's really important to be a part of everything and not just a specialist.
Kickers are kind of on their own. How many of your teammates' names and hometowns do you know?
It's something I'm working on. We've got to know each other a good amount in the winter workouts. Rotated groups a good amount through there. But one of our goals in our position room every day is we focus on one player or staff member or something like that, and we try to get to know them better that practice. So we do that every day.
How often do you practice tackling you mentioned being a safety, would be a safety, like,
Mm.
sometimes it comes down to that with kickoffs and whatnot. How often do you practice that?
Not as much as we practice kicking,
Fair.
but not a ton.
Have you ever made a tackle in a game?
Yeah, made a couple my first year at UNC.
Gotcha.
Is that fun? Like, compared
It's-
to kicking,
It was sometimes it's scary. We played Miami, and they've got good returners. And I remember there was one. They brought it straight up the hash, so I was right on the hash. The guy's running straight towards me. It was very different because most of my other tackles were like kind of on the sideline where I just force him out. But like I've got this guy running straight at me, like head up tackle. I just tried to wrap up and drag him down. But
What happened? Did you make the stop?
yeah,
Did you?
with a little help. But.
Who's holding for you right now, and how much is developing? Coach talked about relationships. How much do you, at this point in camp, build that relationship with your holder?
Yeah, so we're using both punters right now to hold. It's important, I guess, to develop both of them at holder. And yeah, I do have a good relationship with both of them as well off the field. So it's something we're continuing to kind of rotate through and everybody's getting used to each other.
Anything else for Liam? Thanks, man.
Good.